I believe we are live, and yes, real Barack, you are in fact first. Just want to make sure that everything's clean. It's saying that stream is in excellent condition. OBS is good. No drop frames. Take deep breath, especially after the night we had last night. So about last night, how does everyone feel about that? Just wait for a few more people to drop in here. I know it takes a little while for notifications to come through. It's Nathan. Welcome to the stream. Alright, I'll reiterate a little bit later again, but usually I stream on, for the past couple of weeks I've been streaming on Tuesday, but this week, and possibly next week, I'll be streaming on Wednesday. Next week is because, well, I mean, let me kind of go over this week. This week, obviously, I don't think many people really wanted to stream yesterday, for obvious reasons, but also because I frankly was also a little bit busy. I had a prior engagement that happened around this time yesterday. One of which was actually my girlfriend. She wanted to go vote. She hadn't voted yet. So I took her to go vote, and I took advantage of the trip to go drop something off at the UPS store, run some errands, and that was about it. But the whole excursion took about like 2-3 hours. That's why I'm like, the whole trip. So that's why I'm like, all right, I'm not going to stream tomorrow, but I'll bump it to Wednesday. Here we are. And that was mainly the reason why the stream was punted a day this week. Next week, it's because on that Tuesday, there's my house is gonna be quiet. Both of my parents are gonna be gone for like a good 2 hours, and I feel like that's a good time to get filming for videos done rather than doing a live stream. I'd rather do videos than a live stream, because with a live stream, it's live. Things go wrong, or there could be technical mishaps. I don't mind audio interruptions. It's live. It's fine. But with videos, I want them to be as pure and as solid as possible in terms of video and audio, and that's why I like to film videos when I have the house to myself. And it's looking like I think next Tuesday I will have the house to myself for like at least a couple hours, and I figured, you know what, let me take advantage of that. And so that's probably why next week I think I'm also going to stream on a Wednesday. But we'll see. We'll see how things turn out. Plus, is it just, I don't know how many of you can tell me this in the comment section, but how is it just me, or schools, like various schools, just like to let out early on Wednesdays for no goddamn reason? No reason whatsoever. Like a lot of schools just release their students like at noon, and for no reason. It's not like an observed day. It's not like a whatever. It's nothing. They just say, oh yeah, it's Wednesday, party. It's like, and even worse, recently it's come to my attention that there's some school, not all, but there's some school districts that will close the schools the day after Halloween, because they're afraid that kids are going to be crashing out in class and falling asleep because of the sugar rush and going out the night before for trick-or-treating. 2 words for that. Get fucked. None of that flew when I was in school. None of that flew when I was at school. Who cared? You went out last night? Too bad. That's on you. You ate too much candy, your stomach hurts, or you're on a sugar rush and you're crashing? Too bad. That's on you. Nobody forced you to eat that candy. I hate that. I hate how pampered shit is these days when it comes to school. So many schools letting out early, like it's almost, and it's almost every day. Like there's a high school here about where I live. It's only like 5 minutes away. But I noticed that more frequently than not, when I'm like leaving my house like around maybe this time or around 2 o'clock, there's already buses picking kids up, and I'm like, isn't getting off time like 3ish? But then later on, I find out that they're like, oh no, now they get out like at 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm like, so we're cutting hours. No wonder kids are getting fucking stupid. That's I like to take the first 5 minutes of my streams just to rant. That deluxe gold label Batman from Detective Comics sold out instantly. Yeah, it's Nathan. We're gonna be talking about that here momentarily. I haven't gone into the topics yet, but I will be talking about that momentarily. But the very quick, long story short answer to that is because it is a McFarlane Toy exclusive. It's not only an MTS exclusive, but it's also got the gold label additives, and also I think for the first time in a long time, not the first time ever, but the first time in a long time, he's doing the whole swappable capes thing. But I know that he's done it before, but it's been like years. I think it was year 2 Batman that he did that with. But it's been a while. God damn it. Salutations, Brian's new dishwasher. Your username. The school's cares to the kids' stupid decisions cope with their stupidity. Or they just don't want to pay teachers for the longer hours. More money in the pocket. But that's neither here nor there. I've had enough of like policies, politics, and stuff like that after last night. How are you guys feeling after last night? I think the general consensus is that people just feel tired and almost drunk without having drank the night before. I think that's how almost everybody feels this morning. All right. So it's funny because technically speaking, this is my first topic, even though it's going to lead into a question that I think would be good for a topic to post as a separate clip, as a very short clip, or as something that will maybe get the chat rolling. But this morning, I woke up to like 3 notifications, grand total. Or no, actually, no, four. It really was 4. 4 notifications. 2 from UPS and 2 from PayPal. Yeah, 2 from PayPal and 2 from UPS. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go through all the trouble of like censoring tracking numbers and information and stuff like that. But basically, just take my word for it. 4 notifications, 2 from PayPal, 2 from UPS. The UPS ones was UPS telling me that 2 particular items are ready for pickup at my UPS store of choice to pick up from. And those 2 items are going to be reviewed here on the channel. So for those of you who are catching the stream live, you guys will get a little bit of a sneak preview here as to what my next round of reviews are practically going to be after the next batch or the next couple that are going to go up. One of which is, if I can grab him, and you guys can see him here. Can you guys see him? Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool, and I think he's all the way over there. I have to get him. I have to get up to go get him, but I really don't feel like it. But Deadpool and Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. I actually already shot this review. I'm in the process of shooting B-roll. So look for this possibly, I think I'm aiming for Sunday. I'm aiming for the reviews of these guys going up on Sunday. Tomorrow, my long-awaited review, that's actually been in the can for some time, and my dumbass just simply hasn't bothered editing it until now, tomorrow is going to be my review of the Spin Master Batwing. The $20 Batwing that Spin Master released, that review will finally be going up tomorrow. So look for that. But then on Sunday, my reviews for Deadpool and Wolverine from the movie are going to go up. It's going to be a one-off. I rarely do this, but You guys are getting one-offs for these particular figures right here. So that's pretty cool. But after I get those two done, like I said, the next batch of reviews are going to be the stuff that I got notifications for this morning. From UPS, ready for pickup, is the Mafex Justice, or I'm sorry, the Zack Snyder Justice League Batman 2.0, the revised version. And the Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Arkham Knight Batman. Those two figures are ready for pickup at my UPS store. Dope. So I might be picking them up today, or I might wait until tomorrow or Friday, because the other notifications that I got from PayPal was that finally my BVS wave from McFarlane Toys has finally fucking shipped. Finally shipped. Finally, after delays, after PayPal mishaps, they're finally on their way. And the big bundle that comes with Wonder Woman, Nightmare Batman, Armored Batman, and the Superman Doomsday 2-pack is going to be shipped to UPS for me to pick up. That's why I'm like trying to debate if I should pick up the other two figures or if I should wait to pick all of them up all in one swoop. And then the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label 2-pack of the damaged Armored Batman and the scarfed Nightmare Batman, along with all those nice little weapons, is also on its way. However, that's being handled by USPS, so it's going to be delivered directly here to the house. So I got notifications for those. So that's pretty much everything that I'm going to have to tackle probably within like the next week or so. A little bit this weekend, a little bit of this coming Tuesday with that 2 hours of time. So a lot is on its way. Cesar Gutierrez, welcome to the stream. Longtime viewer, first time chatter. Greetings. Thank you. Appreciate it, Cesar. I pre-ordered the Diplo. Is the figure good? It's Nathan. You guys will know. Yeah, you guys will know. It is good, but it's only good because the movie legacy version of Deadpool 1 and 2 is also good. Guys, I'll be right back. Let's just say that this coffee's kicking in. I'll be right back. We're back. What did I come back to? Where is he at? He gone away. Pepe Zamora, Pugman, Ricola, Wrench. Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Sorry. The Mother Nature kicked in. Just a few minutes into the stream. Which makes sense. Let's just say I had something called a Chinese slimming tea last night. I take it whenever I need help. If you catch my drift. And I just got some help. Plus I'm drinking my coffee. So it's also that. The God of Comic, welcome to the stream. Yeah, one figure I want to McFarlane Toys to make a White Lantern. There's a White Lantern Kyle? Thoughts on Spawn movie, and I respect McFarlane Toys. That's why I don't order a Big Bad Toy Store. Speaking of Big Bad Toy Store, I got emails today from them saying that they're about to process orders for the reissues of the Mafex Dark Knight Returns set. So the one that's by himself with the black and gray suit, and then the one that comes with Robin where he's wearing the blue and gray suit and the yellow symbol. And I pre-ordered those, but it's come to my attention that it's actually kind of cheaper if you just get it secondhand with the original releases on like Mercari, eBay. There's some people that are selling it for a way cheaper price in good condition. They're open, but they're in really good condition. And then I don't want to risk having them sell out, but let's just say that there's some markets on Amazon who are selling it even cheaper, and it's brand new, and some of them even qualify for Prime. I'm like, yeah, sorry, Big Bad, I'm gonna cancel this for now. So I canceled that this morning. Who won the fight, Ghost Rider or Spawn? I mean, I'm not reading the comics right now. Got a comic. Imagine we got a Green Lantern cameo, Deadpool, Wolverine. I'm kind of surprised. Well, I feel at the same time, I feel like after 2 movies, he was kind of starting to beat that dead horse with the Green Lantern joke. He's like, all right, I did it in the first movie, did it in the second movie. It was like over with. Well, see, with Big Bad, they were technically selling it at the MSRP. I'll give them that. It's just that it was cheaper on like Mercari and on Amazon because those are the original releases and they were offering sales on them. That's really about it. Technically, with those specific Mafexes, Big Bad was actually selling them at MSRP. What I do notice they upcharge on is like the McFarlane Toy stuff. They add like $2 onto it. So instead of 22, it's like 24. Instead of 30, it's like 32. But the reason for why they can kind of sort of get away with that is because not only do they have to make their money in the back end, but also they offer the flat rate shipping. So if you bundle it all together for $4, it ships it all together, and it's like, well, that's where you save a little bit on the shipping instead of shipping it all separately. Okay, so what was I saying before I left? So I mentioned that I'm getting all that stuff coming in. But it did kind of make me go through but all this stuff like shipping and including the BVS Wave, it also prompted me to go into my account page on McFarlane Toy Store and check what I have on pre-order and what shipped thus far. And even though the only stuff that has thoroughly shipped and I was expecting to ship was the BVS stuff, it also made me look at the stuff that still says awaiting fulfillment, and it's quite an awful lot of pre-orders. And then I noticed that some other people on Reddit and on the McFarlane Toys Facebook group were saying that they too also have a bunch of stuff on pre-order, and we're starting to get more and more people going to those groups and asking questions that are rather superfluous, rather empty, in the sense that they ask questions that you know are not going to get full-blown answers. Like, when is this shipping? When is this shipping? And I'm like, dude, you might as well be asking this to customer service. You know, you really think that somebody in the group is gonna know unless they actively work for McFarlane and are gonna whistleblow? It's like, come on. But it did the fact that so many people are now starting to drop those questions that at the time of me seeing this, I only thought was normal for Reddits, subreddits, and Facebook groups of like Hot Toys or 1/6 scale collecting figures, where people are like, okay, does anybody know when this is dropping? Because those windows are just so vast and so wide that nobody ever is able to gauge when a specific Hot Toys figure or maybe a specific in-art figure is going to be dropping, specifically in-art with the amount of problems they have shipping. But it did make me wonder, did McFarlane over-reveal in the past few months? Because I feel like with New York Comic Con, there were like certain things that maybe he had to reveal. Like I said, the King Kong the King Kong Monsterverse cross Batman collaboration. I don't know what the hell is up with that. Todd's Mods, I don't know who that's for. And I'm getting a little nervous that McFarlane Toys may be stretching themselves a little too thin with these reveals. Because, again, I understood that the BVS wave was going to be the first to start shipping out. A lot of people are still kind of surprised to this day that they shipped out so quickly, because they're like, oh my god, they barely revealed them and they're already getting shipped out. And meanwhile, I'm like, well, they're like remasters, re-releases, retools of prior existing figures. All they have to do is just dig up the blueprints and modify them, and there we go. We got them. So it made sense that the BVS wave was going to be amongst the first to ship out. But it is also still a little curious that about a month and a half prior, they announced the bundle that comes with that Batman Beyond, that Noel Batman, and that Silver Age Batman. And then around that time was also the Amazon exclusive Batman that I can't remember what his name is, but it's the one with the wing glider thing, the paraglider. And we have yet to see the light of day of those. Granted, we have a release window of November for that original bundle, those first two that I mentioned. But the Amazon exclusive has been, I think, indefinitely delayed and has no concrete date. And that combined with some of the upcoming reveals that we're about to talk about, as well as, like I said, the other stuff that's currently out for pre-order, like the Batman and Robin Batmobile, some of the other Page Puncher stuff, some of the much smaller stuff that even got announced today. I'm really hoping that McFarlane doesn't overindulge. And in that respect, they end up thinning themselves out to the point where they can't match all this. And then we have a bunch of like pre-order, waiting for fulfillment. And, all these things are charging our PayPals, charging our cards. And yet some of these things, I just can't imagine maybe even hitting November. Granted, what, like I said, helps in their case is the fact that these are all 7-inch figures. It's not like Hot Toys, or it's not like in-art where there's an awful lot of production happening within those units, within those items. Like, those require an awful lot of attention to detail and care. Whereas McFarlane Toys, it's like, well, it's a 7-inch figure. I still, expect a level of quality, but at the same time, apples to oranges. So, just something that I kind of wanted to think about and kind of toss up there to maybe start some form of like discussion or dialogue. Pepe Zamora, welcome to stream. Speaking of Big Bad, I'm still wondering if they even handled the shipping better for Superior Spider-Man. He never ever showed up here in Target most of the time. You're talking about the one with the red arms, right? Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen it in store. It's even better getting him off Mercari because Big Bad, I think you meant to say Big Bad, has so many problems, including taking months to even ship the item. It depends on the item. Like I said, I keep referring to him for this kind of like breakdown, but Nerdzoic has a really good video about debunking certain myths when it comes to collecting action figures and selling action figures and how storefronts work. And one of those myths has to do with the fact that certain fronts will get figures before the other. And sometimes it doesn't make sense who gets them first. Like sometimes you will legit get either Big Bad or Amazon before, let's say in the case of McFarlane Toys, Big Bad or Amazon says, hey, we're about to ship. and yet your order from the source themselves, McFarlane Toy Store, is still sitting there. And you're like, what the hell? And sometimes it's difficult to gauge that stuff. And McFarlane's not the only one. I know that Marvel Legends, I think NECA, to a certain extent, with Entertainment Earth, that kind of stuff. And then sometimes brick and mortar. Sometimes you walk into a Target and then poof, there it is. The big Walmart haul that I keep talking about in my videos. Back in late August when I walked in and all those figures were there, and a lot of other people were going on Reddit and Twitter saying, hey, look what I found. And those figures were still up for pre-order on every digital storefront, Big Bad, McFarlane, Entertainment Earth, Amazon. But yet people were walking into Walmart and were like, there's Dick Grayson Batman. There's Adam West Batman. It was nuts. What do you think about the new Detective Comics Batman with the Skull Decay and Cluck? Well, Wrench, we're about to talk about that. That's actually my next topic. All the shops near me don't have any action figures anymore. They all just stopped. The only shop that did was a shop that's like hours away from home and upcharges like crazy. When you say all the shops near me don't have action figures anymore, are you talking about like regular corporate brick and mortars like Walmart? Because I know that there's some Walmarts that are legitimately cutting out McFarlane's. One of my Walmarts here in my area that I would go on my hunts for, there's like a total of 3. No. 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 Walmarts in my area that I can drive to. But amongst those 4, one of them in the past like month or so, I've gone a couple of times and I'm like, where are the McFarlanes? It's not like it's not like there's empty pegs where the McFarlanes should be and I can see the tags. No, like there's no pegs at all either. We go from like Marvel to like Turtles to then Spin Master stuff or Mattel stuff. And there's no DC, there's no McFarlane, there's not, like I said, not even empty pegs where you see the price tag and it says McFarlane, DC Multiverse, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that, which that leads me to believe like they took them off the planogram. That means that they're gone. This store in particular said, we can't afford to carry them anymore. Sorry, I was reading something. Oh, my only hope online is shopping, but since I live in... You're in Australia, Pugman? By the way, Pugman, your name is Pugman. Do you own a pug? Please tell me you own a pug. $40 instead of $20, Jesus. I heard Warbird was a bitch to track down from a lot of Marvel Legends collectors. Like I said, I'm very, very picky and scattered when it comes to Marvel Legends. But I do keep up with like the community, reading on some posts on Reddit and not so much Facebook, but definitely Twitter. I'm sorry, X. One big store I used to go to only has the Guardians of the Galaxy 3-way from years ago. Jeez, they still... And those things went on clearance fast. They overmade them. Huh. My old dog used to be called Pug, even though he wasn't a pug. That's funny. You say you're using past tense, so my condolences. I'm sorry if I brought up memories. Yeah, some Walmarts mostly did that because of the garbage McFarlane thought would sell, but were peg warmers, fighting the frozen page punchers. Well, that's the thing, yeah, for a little while, especially throughout 2022, I want to say, and early 2023, So many Walmarts were carrying the same shit. Blackest Night, Darkest Night Wave, or Blackest Night Wave, Last Night on Earth, Frozen Page, seeing the same fucking figures every single time I went. And now they're paying the cost of that. Walmart, like, yeah, we don't want any more of that. We're not, they're not selling. Yeah, well, if you had the new stuff, one of the only lines I got before the big store I went to stop getting new figures was the Spider-Man retro line. Yeah, like I said, with the Marvel Legends, there was some retro stuff that I thought was kind of cool, and then there's some other stuff that I thought was just overpriced. I'm like, well, what are we doing? Okay, so moving on to the next topic, which is probably, it's already been kind of brought up a little bit in the chat, and I know it's a big one for a lot of people, so let me go ahead and switch screens to black. God damn it. Wait, do I have the... That's not it. Which scene am I on right now? Hold on. Technical difficulties. Oh, that wasn't it. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're working. Bam. The Detective Comics 587 Night People Batman got revealed. It was initially teased with just like a silhouette, but I think it was last week. Pre-orders and the official reveal for the Night People Batman went live. However, it was very distinctly made clear, that was kind of a redundant phrase, but it was made clear by McFarlane that this was not only a gold label, but also an exclusive to the McFarlane Toy Store, which meant that I needed to be there at 9 a.m. on the dot because almost, as reluctant as I am to say this, whenever something's McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, it's a very likely chance it's going to sell out. Regardless of how good or bad something looks, it's that exclusivity that I will admit a lot of people are kind of, for lack of a better term, indoctrinated in. As much as of a fan as I am of McFarlane Toys, I have it on good authority that there's some people out there who are going to pre-order something because it's an exclusive, and also because maybe not so much as loyalty to Todd, but rather loyalty to the dollar of being able to take some of these and upsell them in their own storefronts and vendors at collectible, convention stores, whatever. So seeing as that was the case, and this wasn't going to be able to be found in traditional brick and mortar stores or on Amazon or on Big Bad or Entertainment Earth, I knew I needed to secure a pre-order, and thankfully I was able to. So look for a review of this guy, even though we technically have reviewed this figure before, about 5 times. Yes, it is in fact the Nightfall Buck, one more time with a couple of modifications, as he tends to do, and it's quickly becoming the more definitive Buck that McFarlane's falling on, probably even more so than the Hush Buck. And because it's more definitive than that, I feel like this is probably going to be the Buck to stay, and I even touched upon it when I was editing my Nightfall ranking video, which a lot of people brought up, something that I do kind of have to own up to, and I don't know why I didn't think about this, but the Dick Grayson Batman does have the Nightfall Buck, and that was a mishap on my part. My apologies. But hey, I'll definitely dig him up and include him when we re-rank the Nightfall Bucks again, because trust me, probably this time next year, or maybe even earlier than that, we're going to get another Nightfall ranking, because not only are we getting the Silver Age Batman, not only can I maybe make an exception and throw in Catman again, Dick Grayson Batman that I forgot, but also now this guy. That's already 4 another additions on top of the 5 I've already ranked. If we get like 1 or 2, 3 more, we're definitely in store for a top 10 Nightfall ranking. And right here, I would say, for the most part, it's a really clever utilization of the Nightfall Buck. But at the same time, I gotta be brutally honest, I'm not terribly familiar with the Night People storyline. I'm more familiar with Nightfall than I am with Night People. I don't know what Night People is all about. I just know that he's, from some of the images that I've seen for reference, he's supposed to be a little bit more gray than the dark jet black smoky gray or smoky black that he's got going on right here. I do actually like the yellow symbol as well as the design of the cowl, and it just looks like he just kept the traditional Nightfall belt and just made it a little bit more mustardy. But apart from that, it's looking pretty similar to what we've gotten before. And the only thing that really makes this a massive like inclusion, a massive like gold label exclusive that's worthy of that $50 price tag is going to be not only the inclusion of this gargoyle set piece that he can kind of be put up on. Not only does he have this, it kind of looks like Scarface, right? Like the Scarface head, whatever that is, but also an assortment of hands. And then the big selling point, if you couldn't already tell, he comes with 2 capes. A sculpted cape that's chiseled out to look like it's blowing to his right. And then, of course, a cloth wired cape that he's going to be able to swap out for and you're able to pose. The only thing that I do think is just a little strange is, and then the breathalyzer mask sculpt. So he's getting quite a bit. In fact, let me see if I can open a secondary page here while I catch up on the chat. Tom Bowling, welcome to the stream. Check out the cape. It's all over the place. That's actually, I'm trying to find a better picture that shows off the cloth cape. Half of the McFarlane figures I saw on physical shows were the Batman 2020. Yeah, I remember that too. They were overdone with those. By the way, that Night People Batman's gray is more of a dark green. Is it? It is Scarface? Alright. This looks cool, and I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't buy it, but honestly, this is not too interesting to me. It's really the value, because let me open up the official McFarlane Toy Store page, because that's what I kind of want to show you guys. So, at first I thought, that's a lot that they're including in the package, especially with the functionality of being able to swap out capes, and then if we take a closer look, can I blow this up? I can't. You'll see that, of course, ooh, okay, I can see right here. So, he's obviously going to have some traditional Nightfall Buck accessories. Fist hands and the Batarang. However, he doesn't come with gripping hands. He comes with those semi-clenching hands from the Nightfall 2-pack that came with Bane, so that you're able to pose them like he's in pain. Bars. On the... Actually, no, I take that back. No, they're right there. This is a different picture. Hold on. Oh, never mind. They are there. Never mind. They're the gripping hands. So he comes with the gripping hands, the fisted hands, the Batarang, and the extended hands are different. I thought there were 2 sets, the Nightfall 2-pack ones, and then these unique ones that have like different sculpted fingers. Like these are brand new to this set. I can acknowledge that. I just thought that the Nightfall 2-pack hands were also somewhere in there, but I guess not. So it's the fisted hands, the gripping hands that you traditionally get with Nightfall Bucks by themselves, the Batarang that we've seen time and time again, but then these really uniquely gestured hands. The Scarface head, the breathalyzer, which I thought was an alternate head sculpt, but it's actually just a mask. The gargoyle, and then of course the piece de resistance, the card. No, I'm kidding. The cape. Now, what Tom Bowling was kind of alluding to is I saw this major gap on the cloth cape, and I'm like, wait a minute. Are they doing what I think they're doing? I'm going to have to wait until I feel it in hand to see how I feel about this. The cloth cape, if I can find a different shot. Okay, this is perfect. Will have the same kind of cutouts as the sculpted cape to make it look like it's tattered. Which means that it's going to have a different pattern from left to right. And like Tom Bowling mentioned, it's going to be all over the place. And on the one hand, I think that's kind of different and unique and interesting. But I'm going to have to wait until I have it in hand to see if I really vibe with it, because it could make for some tedious posing or not. I don't know. It really depends on how strong the wire is. As long as it's as strong as the Nightfall 2-pack one. It looks like they're going for that nylon fabric as opposed to a regular cloth fabric like the Batman Forever Robin, or like the the other Robin, the DC Rebirth one. I think it was DC Rebirth. They're not going with that, which kind of makes me worried that we're not going back to that cloth. I know it's costly, but I feel like for a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive that sold out in minutes, can we not do nylon and do an actual cloth, fabric cloth instead? Not this material again, because if we're doing this material, do it for the wide releases. For McFarlane Toy Store Gold Labels, I think this should have been like the fabric, like the one that you feel on the Batman Forever Robin, because that would have been exceptional. And that would have made the $50 much more worth it. Even though I still feel like $50 is not too bad for everything that's included in this set. But yeah, what do you guys think? Because so far, I'm definitely intrigued. Obviously, put down my pre-order so I can cover it for you guys in a review. But for the time being, I would be lying if I said that I can't bring myself to the hype level, only because I'm not too familiar with Night People, and I'm not 100% certain where the demand for that was. Rishav27, welcome to the stream. I really hope Fondjoy makes a Christopher Reeve Superman. That would be interesting, but I think for the time being, they're trying to correct some past mistakes with potential Henry Cavill 2.0. Whether or not he's going to have the red and blue suit or the black suit, we'll see. But it looks like they're doing another Cavill Superman. Sorry, I kind of slurped there. My apologies. By the way, I never asked, has anyone been digging those small McFarlane cowls and have bought some? I got everyone except Adam West, but people are already scalping them. Really? Scalping the little mini 1/3 cowls? I saw 2 recently at Target, and even my girlfriend saw them and was like, oh, those are cool. And I'm like, to have like on a designated desk, it would be sick. But right now, I don't have the display space for them that I'm like, they're going to have to wait. But for $15, they're not bad. I eventually do want to get them. It's just going to be a while. But eventually I do want to get them. People are so desperate for money and are stupid that they are selling just one for around $20 to $40. But shipping? Come on. It's funny because in store, I haven't seen them too frequently. They're very scattered in store as far as like Walmart or Target. But online, especially directly from McFarlane Toy Store, you can find them. Hold on. Let me find this out. I believe you can still pre-order on McFarlane Toy Store. The cowls, the 1/3 cowls. Let me check. Excuse me. You can still pre-order the 1/6 scale Batman statue. Where are the cows? I don't see them anymore. Oh, there they are. Oh, well, it's funny. It's curious. Those 1/3 cowls, if you wanted to buy them individually, they're sold out. But if you buy a bundle, it's in stock. It's probably like some kind of off to the side reserve that McFarlane has, I'd imagine. Because, yeah, right now in the McFarlane Toy Store, if you buy all 3 for $45, they're in stock. But if you just wanted one of them, they're sold out. Okay. Nate likes comics. Welcome to the stream. I don't think you can pre-order them anymore. Didn't they fully release in October? Officially, yeah, they're revealed and released in October. Those cowls. Pugman, I kind of want to see that movie, that Christopher Reeve movie, and at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to handle it. The trailer almost made me well up. If the gray was turned more into a gray, then I'd probably get this figure, although I want to keep my Nightfall molds to a minimum. So far, the only one I want is the first appearance Batman. You haven't been able to find that one, Pugman? I see it, not in store, but online I see it quite often. Ordered it because I am really interested. Yeah, same thing here, Wrench. It's intriguing, but at the same time, like, eventually there are gonna have to be some new molds that, because one of my greatest fears is to see McFarlane toys fall into the same trappings as Marvel Legends. I don't want them to be doing that. Please. Superman is probably the black suit. They're redoing the Dark Knight, Batman, and Joker. Okay, we're gonna Reshef, if you want to stick around for a little bit, I actually do have a topic related to Fondjoy for today's show if we can get to it. Interesting to see the Begins version being absent. The Begins, I feel like Batman Begins is getting so much like shade, or maybe not shade, because that means that people are talking shit about it, but it's just getting bypassed so frequently by so many. It's getting bypassed so bad that McFarlane, if you guys want to make some money, like just a boatload of cash just rolling up to your house, Todd father, you want this giant semi truck of cash? Batman Begins, Batman. And there's been rumors circulating for quite a while now that they might be working on putting together a Batman Begins wave. With Batman Begins, Batman, Liam Neeson, Ra's al Ghul, maybe a suited Scarecrow, and then the fourth figure would probably be Gordon, because we haven't yet to have a Gordon, a proper Gordon. So yeah. But here's the thing, if you do a Batman Begins, it's gotta be. I will give you this. I will say you can use the legs from the Dark Knight trilogy one, the Dark Knight suit, but then the torso needs to be redone. That's what I would believe with that. The Christopher Reeve movie was insanely good, brought me to literal tears. I don't want to spoil it, but it's. Oh, Pugman, I think we kind of know how his story ends. Targets, I saw a couple. Like, and when I say I saw them at Target the other day, I only saw the animated series and the Nightfall. I didn't see Adam West. Those were the only two. Just one of each. Yeah, Pepe Mora. That's another thing, is that I'm like the holiday season coming up, there's a part of me that's like, do I want to wait to see if maybe those cowls will go on sale, like a clearance or something? Or maybe there's like a good deal at Target where they're like, oh, spend $40 and you get $5 back or something like that. That is true, Rishav. It's the 20th anniversary of Batman Begins next year. Perfect timing. The only company I saw recently is finally tackling Batman Begins, and they're like, okay, we're doing Batman Begins, but we're also doing Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, all the Batmans. Is Beast Kingdom. Beast Kingdom's releasing like this giant 85th anniversary wave of all the Batman, except the ones that they've already done, like Returns in '89. No, I think they're doing, yeah, except the Keatons. Pretty much, except the Keatons, but they're doing all the other ones. All right, that's a good argument, Pugman. If McFarlane makes a Begin suit, they do for sure do a platinum of the homemade version of when Batman goes to Gordon for the first time. I could see that. And he's got a stapler. He comes with a stapler. That'd be nice. Did you pick one up? Aren't they only $15? Yeah, but it's a slippery slope because if I get one, I need to get the others. You know? And like I said, I feel like if I wait, maybe McFarlane Toys themselves will have a sale on their site where that $45 bundle will maybe go down to like 40 or 38. I can use the MTS10 code, get an additional 10% off, cut out the shipping. That's why. That's why I'm like, something in my gut, minus the T that's working its way right now, says wait off. The Beast Kingdom one looks good, but some gadgets are missing, along with an unmasked head sculpt, which Fondjoy would most probably include and be a bit cheaper than Beast Kingdom. A bit cheaper, but we're talking like, wait, how much are Beast Kingdoms? I have them on pre-order, but I only pre-order them because Big Bad doesn't charge until they ship, and there was no down deposit, so that's why I'm like, let me check. Oh, they're $50 each. Yeah, you're right. Fondjoy is technically cheaper by about 10, $15. But yeah, look at this. Batman Begins Beast Kingdom. Doesn't look all that bad, but like I said, what I'm most worried about is the jointage that's happening with the legs. And the likeness. Although the likeness doesn't look too bad right there. Right there, it's looking a little Toy Story-ish. Right there, not too bad. Worried about that head sculpt's articulation, though. I mean, that was the whole point, is that he can't do it. He has to do the Keaton. What were the accessories? Just batarangs and the grapple. For $50, I think they could have added one other thing. But yeah, this is as close to a Batman Begins in... I don't want to say that scale because that's a much more unique scale than even McFarlane. But, you know, if you want some Batman Begins representation on your shelf, it really is Beast Kingdom right now until McFarlane has something cooking. Which is likely, to be quite honest. Have you ever bought anything from Prime One Studio? They have a lot of Batman stuff. No, because it's mostly just statues, and I'm not a statue guy. Did McFarlane make a Death of Superman black suit for Soups? I'm more into the Batman side, so I don't know if they have. I don't think so, because it doesn't he have the mullet in that comic when he comes back with the black suit, and the beard. Because if so, I don't think I've seen that. I think I've seen him with the black suit, but he doesn't have the mullet or the goatee, which means that it's technically not that one. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Ooh, Rishav. A platinum demon Batman. That would be sick. I would honestly pick that over the first appearance or first night out Batman, to be quite honest. Especially since even Hot Toys thought it was cool enough to make a Hot Toys of the Demon Batman and paired him with Scarecrow as a 2-pack. Yeah, I agree, Pugman. Another Arkham Asylum Batman, because sometimes he's got like that goofy face. And this was back in 2021 where they were kind of, sort of barely getting started. And a proper Arkham Origins Batman wrench. Yeah. Okay. Along with some of that, the Night People thing that also went live for pre-order almost immediately, we also have teases for new page punchers from McFarlane Toys that are still, at the time of the stream, still going up for pre-order or have gone for pre-order if you're watching this as a separate video that I'm going to splice out. One of which, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how to feel about, which is going to be this animated series Red Hood. Because, first of all, I got to be completely honest, Red Hood in the animated series context just does not vibe for me. Knowing that it's animated and it's the cartoon, it's not the animated movie, because I hear that Under the Red Hood, it's a pretty good animated movie, but I'm talking about the Batman Adventures Continue series that you know was catered to a younger demographic on those Saturday mornings, and yet you throw in Red Hood, who's got such a tragic backstory, but also a much darker tone as opposed to his policy of killing versus not killing, and it just never clicked with me. Specifically, this design when he has the mask off. And as such, McFarlane is doing a DC Direct revamp, repackage, retool, whatever you want to call it, but under the Page Punchers label. So we have like 3 labels happening here. Page Punchers, DC Direct, and McFarlane Toys. And I sincerely do not know how to feel about this because it's going to be that animated series aesthetic, which means that the articulation is going to be a little static. He's got those angular looks where when you try to rotate the arms, it goes off in different directions. And I don't already vibe with the aesthetical look that I think this might be my first ever flat out skip. But what do you guys think about this animated series Red Hood? A lot of people are down for it. I'm buying, don't care, drop that. Okay. Look at him. Yeah, like people are excited, but I'm probably in the minority with this one, to be quite honest. Does he actually have a firearm in the holster? Yeah, but we gotta wait and see if you can even take it out. Because that's going to be my counter argument. Can you even take that out? Because my money almost wants to say that it won't. But how do you guys feel about this? And the little gray hair and the face, I don't know what it is. But I just, like I said, this is probably one of the few cases in the minority where I'm just like, I'm going to pass on this. But if you guys vibe with it, more power to you. Well, Pepe, I think it is the 6-inch because notice it says DC Direct. Like I said, I can already tell from like the way that the joints look and the limbs look that it's gonna be that smaller, like the Batman Beyond that I recently reviewed. It's gonna be within that tier, and because of that, I'm like, for $25, knowing that Page Punchers go traditionally for that price, I'm like, I don't know if I really want it, to be honest. Yeah, I saw this and I don't know how to feel about this. It's cool that it's 7 inches because I guess we have another character in 7 inches besides the old BTS Multiverse Batman. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's 7 inches. I think this is going to be the 6-inch. Like the Batman Beyond or the old man Bruce Wayne. I don't think it's going to be that. To be fair, the DC animated series had some dark themes. I mean, it touched on dark themes before, but Red Hood just goes into another level that I'm just like, I don't know. He feels kind of out of place. But I don't know. That's just me. Pepe, who said that it was 7 inches? Hold on, let me. Pepe, let me bring the screen back. It's the tiny ones. Yeah. So it's the DC Direct stuff, not the actual DC Multiverse stuff. It's not. Sorry, man. Which means it's gonna have only one joint at the elbow, one joint at the knee. The arms aren't really gonna be able to, like I said, vertically rotate. They're gonna veer off like the V-shaped ones traditionally do. No torso articulation except maybe the waist, and that's it. So yeah, like I said, this kind of really makes me want to skip. I'm good. Year 101, yeah, no, man. It's right there on the McFarlane Toys tweet. For $50, Beast Kingdom should have included the cell phone, which you used to call Alfred, the sonar device. The sonar device for sure. I don't know about the cell phone. It's a little too generic. Face plates. Like the Hot Toys, where he has that face like... Now, even though I may be passing on the Red Hood because I'm immensely indifferent, also going up for pre-order that same morning, Friday, November 8th, or already available for pre-order, is gonna be the curiously put together and kind of neat, but also kind of not, but also kind of strange and novel Page Punchers 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman, but not from the movie, but from the comic. Apparently there was a comic that adapted the aesthetic and the storyline of the 78 Reeve Superman into comic book form, and they're making a page puncher out of that. And I gotta be honest, I'm kind of down for it. Now, it is going to be available, I believe, across different retailers, so I don't know if I'm going to buy it from McFarlane directly, maybe as like an Amazon or Big Bad pre-order, but if you missed out on the 78 original, this is not a bad alternative. Just be wary of the massive amounts of cell shading you got going on here around the leg and torso area, which I think from certain angles could look a little egregious. But at the same time, as a nice little counterpiece with the, like I said, the cell shading look, even though, like I said, it's adapting the Reeve style, but I understand it doesn't look like Reeve at all. Especially with the head sculpt there. But I'm eager to see, apart from the comic, what else it comes with. Because if it makes a compelling enough argument, I actually might be down to get this. And then on top of that, not only does he come with the wired cape, but it's also using the cloth that I was asking for in that Night People Batman. Where it's not the nylon, it's actual cloth, like the Robins that we've been getting recently. And I'm like, yo, this could be a pretty good, maybe underrated gem of a page puncher. Could be. I'm not saying it definitively is, but I think it could be. And according to the comic launch of pre-order November 8th, figures include reprints of some of the most iconic comic books. Okay, that was kind of a generic answer there, but yeah, we'll see what happens come Friday. If this includes like added hands, it's got to include extra hands. Maybe that added head sculpt, but I'm eager to see what else they package with it. And if it's a good enough, compelling argument for me to pre-order, I might just do it. I just don't know if I'll do it with McFarlane Toys, but probably with like Amazon and such. And I would say that, you know, the comic, obviously, like I said, it's using Margot Kidder. I was about to say Margot Robbie. Margot Kidder's portrayal of Lois Lane, and I can definitely tell from the face that that's supposed to be the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor. But this is kind of like a continuation of like what it would have been like if Reeves Superman went up against Brainiac. So they call it Superman 78, and I'm like, I'm kind of down for it. and I'm genuinely eager to see what the comic storyline is. Yeah, so the cell shading is probably the only thing that's a little off-putting, but in terms of aesthetics, it's not bad. And pairing it next to the original Christopher Reeve, I would say it would look pretty good. Both would look pretty good together. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I prefer having Jason as Hush to Red Hood. That Hush fake out reveal was way better than Red Hood being revealed as Jason, because it was obviously it was Jason. Are you talking about Arkham Knight? Because even I was like, what the hell? Excuse me. Would love Fondjoy to tackle Arkham. Ooh, that would be sweet. I would actually be kind of down for that. And at the same time, they wouldn't really have to worry about likenesses too much, because they got that video game aesthetic, so that would probably be up their alley. Rishav. Why does McFarlane do kind of mediocre job at cel shading? It's cool. And on some stuff like the SDDC Batman, it's fine, but man. Yeah, the Nightfall exclusive, I believe. The Comic-Con exclusive. Yeah, I just don't want it to look like he's pissing his pants. Basically, as long as cel shading doesn't look like they urinated themselves, I'm okay. Or at least better than traditional. Brian's new dishwasher. Someone, who was it? Who was it? Who was saying that they saw the Christopher Reeve documentary? Somebody else in the chat said that they watched it. That they loved it too. God damn it. Do you think the McFarlane Nightwing versus Talon and Owl Pack is worth picking up? On paper, oh, it was Pugman. Yeah, Brian Pugman was talking about that documentary earlier, saying that yeah, he recommends it. So I think maybe when it drops on Max, I'll check it out, because I'm pretty sure it's coming to Max. But is that Talon versus what was it called again? The Nightwing versus Talon. I have it on pre-order. It's gotten indefinitely delayed because it's an Amazon exclusive, and they always do that. On paper, I think it is kind of worth it, as far as like being $60, but you're getting 3 figures and a bunch of accessories, and it's like, well, you're actually kind of cutting out about $6, $2 off of each, so it's not a bad bundle deal. But at the same time, one of those figures looks like a repaint of a pre-existing Nightwing, and then the other figure. The other two, actually, I think all 3 are kind of sort of retools / repaints of prior existing figures. And then one of the Court of Owls figures looks like just a suited figure, but with the owl mask on. So that's why I'm like, eh. But at the same time, for $60 and you're getting 3 figures, it's not a bad bundle deal. I'll let you know when I cover it. I do have it on pre-order, but like I said, right now it's indefinitely delayed, so there's no way of knowing. Yeah, Tom Bowling, you're right. I mean, there's no shortage of stuff to cover, and McFarlane's not going to slow down anytime soon. Like, if you're worried about like the rights getting relinquished, Raimi trilogy figures from Fondjoy, that would be sick. Well, Pugman, I never read that comic, so I wouldn't know. And Pepe Zamora, I'm pretty certain Power Girl is going to be the collector's edition. Because now they have to put it in the collector section, because if they're showing a little bit too much, that's how they can kind of get away with it. But at the same time, it's also almost a guarantee that they're going to sell out in that respect. Going in the jar. Yeah, Owl is just a reused Joker body with a new head. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Hmm. Okay, so I do have one other topic, although I'm kind of breeze through this one a little bit because it's simply just a tease by the good old folks at Mondo, who decided to take it upon themselves to rapidly age one of my videos, which is going to be an official tease and upcoming reveal of a 1/6 scale Batman Beyond, which is probably going to be the closest to a very accurate looking Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond figure. However, it is going to be in the 1/6 scale format, which means it's going to be going north of like $200. But it's probably going to be the most accurate representation of the character. And the reason for why I'm a little salty about this is because this is just off the heels of me reviewing the gold label DC Direct reissue, which is the tinier 6-inch one, and then comparing it to the 7-inch DC Multiverse, neither of which I feel is really all that accurate to the way that he looked like in the show. And I feel like the most accurate we're going to get is going to be this Mondo tease, or this Mondo release that's currently being teased by Mondo on their Twitter page. So we're probably, that was on the 4th, so it's only been a couple of days, so I want to say probably within the week we'll get an official reveal and pre-order launch of this guy going up on the site. What do you guys think? I know that, you know, these things go for like $200, but if it gives you like the most accurate Batman Beyond, if you're that much of a diehard Batman Beyond fan, it might just be worth it. Nate likes comics. I'm gonna need some time to think about that one favorite McFarlane figure. Ugh. How much time you got? Speaking of the Raimi trilogy, we'll be getting a Legends symbiote Spidey from Spider-Man 3 next year. I really hope it's a new mold and not a lame reuse with a new mask and different logos. What, from Marvel Legends? Oh yeah, Legends. You just said it. I'm sure it'll come with a Bully Maguire head sculpt. But if anything, they're probably just gonna really utilize the head they used for No Way Home, right? And just kind of de-age it. I live in a tiny Pennsylvania town. Figures are hard to find. Being in LA, David. Well, Tom, like I said, without doxing myself, I don't live in LA. I'm within driving distance of LA, but we're talking like an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, or realistically 2 hours with traffic, because I personally feel like the world is kind of overpopulated and COVID was supposed to be the answer to that, but instead we decided to procreate even more. And another symptom, quote unquote, of COVID was the fact that people in LA moved to other areas, including by where I live, because the cost of living was too high in LA. And so to avoid that, they moved up here, but they also took, for lack of a better term, their bullshit with them. And now they're here. So I want to argue, Tom, that me trying to find figures is not all that different from your situation here where I live in my town. Ever so often I'll get lucky, like that massive haul at the end of August when I walked into Walmart and there were all those figures. But that was the first time in like almost half a year that something like that happened. If I'm being brutally honest. All right, before I move on to the next topic, guys, I'll be right back. Need some water. about the OG Spider-Man 1 homemade suit, rubber included. Also, sorry for what happened to your figure. And it's coming sometime soon. Also got the OG. Where'd you get it from, Pugman? You said it's coming? I'm currently watching Batman Beyond for the first time right now, and I gotta tell you, I'm totally enjoying it. I love those futuristic aspect type of shows and movies. Bro, I go out of California during COVID, and it was the best decision of my life. Power to you, Nate. I highly doubt they'll use the No Way Home Toby sculpt, as all of the Hugh Jackman and Chris Evans heads from their respective figures have different head sculpts. I hope so. I really, really hope so. All right, so we're actually starting to wind down a little bit. Rishev, you brought up Fondjoy earlier in the chat. My next topic is something that is a little bit on the loose side as far as sources, as far as what I was able to pull. So don't take everything I'm going to be talking about here or, just covering seriously. It's more of a speculative thing. Because ever so often I open up Instagram and there's some people who are posting some shit here from China during a China Toy Expo where they showed some stuff that I'm like, is this for real? And that's the good old folks at Fondjoy possibly delivering the goods as far as reissues, 2.0s, remakes, remasters, and just some brand new spicy goodness. Let me bring up the first post I saved here. Let me make sure I'm not showing anything too crazy. Okay, I think we're good. So this is the first batch of photos I got from Fondjoy prototypes being shown at a China Toy Expo. And this includes the Nightmare Bat, basically all of the BVS Batfleck Batmans that we have not gotten so far. Which is Nightmare Batman with the coat right there. Tactical Suit Batman from Justice League, both versions. And then the Armored Batman from BVS with the spear and even the Kryptonite grenade launcher. Missing here is, of course, the original BVS Batman that we've already gotten and I reviewed. And the upcoming, I think it's either about to release or has released, but it's slowly starting to get shipped out to storefronts, which is the Justice League Batman, but it's not the tactical suit one. It's like the regular suit one, but it's slightly different than the BVS one. It kind of has like a much more muted color. It's got like pads on the abdomen. The cowl is a little bit more tight, sealed here around the neck area. So there's some like modifications they made to the suit. That version is on the cusp of getting released, and I will try to figure out if I have some kind of in-way to review it. I don't know if Calkeys is going to be able to supply it again, or if I'm going to have to buy it out of pocket. I'll let you guys know. But that's what's missing here. So we got these three prototypes coming. And then we get into Flash territory, or somewhat Flash territory, somewhat not. So we have a Keaton Batman Fondjoy. However, from the looks of it, I believe it's the 89 Batman because of the how much bigger and girthier the cowl is. And also, I can see, if I look a little closely, I don't think I can zoom in. Can I zoom in? Nope, it's only increasing the font. I don't know why I do that. But if I kind of squint my eyes, it looks like I can see the wingtips at the bottom of the bat symbol on his chest, and that usually is indicative of it being the it's definitely not the Flash suit, but I thought maybe it's the Returns, but no. Then I look at the abdomen and I'm like, no, this is 89 Batman. So we have 89 Keaton Batman, we have the Flash Batman, just not colored, but you can easily tell from all the extra bullshit he's got on the thighs and the chest and the arms that this is the Flash Batman that we got at the beginning of the movie. Of course, from said movie, again, Flash, who's packing, which I would generally compliment if it wasn't Ezra Miller. And then cut off on the side. Is she on the next photo? She's not on the next photo. But cut off a little bit here is Supergirl, also from the Flash. Gotta be honest, we'll see if they actually bring her to market. considering the lack of demand. There's barely any demand for Flash himself. So what makes you think we're going to get Supergirl, considering that she's not even going to be continuing in the DCU? So I'm like, I don't know about that, guys. But then we're moving on to stuff that is very likely going to sell, which is Dark Knight Trilogy. Joker, Bane, Batman from the Dark Knight. No Begins representation again, kind of a bummer, but still, the fact that we're getting Dark Knight Trilogy figures from Fondjoy, this should be interesting, and they should definitely bring these to market. As I mentioned and hinted at a little earlier before Rishav, it looks like we're getting a proper rehaul, revamp, remake, whatever you want to call it, 2.0 of Cavill's Superman, because we already got a Fondjoy Cavill Superman, but from the I don't own the figure, but the pictures themselves just make the thing look goddamn awful. I'm sorry. It just, he has like a pencil neck and his proportions are off. I just never saw the appeal of the figure, but I'm glad to see that they're going back to the drawing board and saying, hey, we are now licensed, because at that point I don't think they were licensed, but now that they are licensed, they got the Cavill likeness. They're overhauling the head sculpt. I can easily tell that that's a much better head sculpt, and I'm eager to see how this thing's going to look like painted. I'm a little... It's likely a very early prototype, so it's a little concerning that he doesn't have any actual articulation in the limbs. But maybe this is just a proof of concept thing, where they just articulated like the torso, and that's it. But you can definitely tell. Now, the question is, I can't tell from the utility belt if this is Man of Steel Superman or if it's BVS Superman or even Justice League. I don't think it's Man of Steel, because I believe in Man of Steel his hair's combed the other direction and it's a little poofier. Here it's a little bit more straight-laced, so that makes me think it's either BVS or Justice League. But outside of that, I don't know. And then we have to find out whether or not it's going to be the red and blue suit or the black suit again. So yeah. And also, just for clarification, shout out to Coleccionistas Multiversos from Instagram for providing these photos. Granted, it's possible that maybe he took these photos from somebody else. I'm not sure. Even though it looks like it's the @Fondjoy official page on their Chinese social media. Because I know that in China, they have their own social media platforms. They don't have Instagram. They don't have Twitter. Definitely don't have Twitter. So they have their own stuff over there. So they pull those photos. That's how it's very difficult to find these kind of photos without either digging for them or just waiting for someone to post them over here. We have the Batpod from the Dark Knight Trilogy. So they're getting into vehicles. I don't think up until this point we had Fondjoy vehicles. So I find that kind of curious that their first potential outing of that, delving into vehicle territory, is going to be the Batpod. And then we got some diorama pieces for both Joker and Bane, both of which are now missing their coats. So I'm wondering if this is going to be like some kind of variant or deluxe edition, because I'm wondering if it's going to be two different SKUs for these, where it's like, okay, you can get Bane sleeveless, and he comes with the diorama, but no coat. But if you get the coat one, you get a much more accurate look, but no diorama piece. And no sleeves. Whereas over here, this Joker, no coat, but he comes with the jail set diorama. So I'm wondering if they're taking... a page out of McFarlane to be like, oh, well, you got your gold labels here. I just don't know what Fondjoy would call them. Deluxe sets? I don't know. But here we have this whole assortment here up on their wall. Their current releases, some of which are, like I said, not licensed properly because of the Superman down there. There's that upcoming Justice League Ben Affleck Batman that I was talking about, not the BVS one. The current releases that are fully set to come out. There's that Pattinson. God damn it. There's that wonky black suit Superman, but then all the prototypes, of which I didn't get any close-ups of. There's Supergirl again. There's Keaton Batman. So, wait, there's another Keaton Batman? That's Returns Batman. I can see the paneling of the chest. That's Returns Batman. So we have an 89 Batman over here and a Keaton Batman over here. I'm sorry. An 89 Batman over here and a Returns Batman over here. But then when we see this giant setup here, I believe, again, I can't zoom in because Instagram doesn't blow up the picture. It blows up the font, but it doesn't blow up the picture. I want to say here, these two, we didn't get close-ups of these, but from physique and silhouetting, I want to say this is Catwoman from Dark Knight Rises, and I want to say this is Bank Robber Joker. Something about the head sculpt looks like it's got the same thing going on as this Joker, but he's got the shorter suit, the much more like grayed out suit, and that looks like the bank robber mask, the clown mask he's got going on. I want to say that's it right there. Not 100% sure. And like I said, our only other photo is this one right here. So yeah, quite a bit shown here as far as Fondjoy prototypes, and we'll see just how many of them will go into production. There's some of which, like I said, I'm almost willing to bet won't go into production because of demand, because of how poorly the movies did, Flash, Supergirl. But then there's others that I'm like, Fondjoy, if you take your time and don't repeat the mistakes you did with Pattinson and just take what really worked with that BVS Batman that I sincerely do really like, almost damn near love, you're printing money. You really are. Right now, you're 50-50. You got an amazing figure in the brand new Fondjoy BVS Batman, even though he's got a little bit of a gorilla head. That was one of my major criticisms, but one of my few, but still very significant criticisms. But then Pattinson Batman, there was just so much wrong with it that I'm like, all right, you guys are 50-50. One of two. Please nail, if you can nail that Justice League Bat flick, which from the photos, it kind of looks pretty good. I'm eager to get it in hand. It looks pretty good from the photos I've seen. Then you'll be at a 2 out of 3, and you'll be back in good graces, and I'll be much more of a subscriber to your guys' line. I already read that. I guess those are scene-based deluxe editions. Joker from the other scene, ass whooping scene. Batman ass whooping scene. Really? We could have called it something differently, and you opted to call it the Batman ass whooping scene. Now that I've seen this, I'm wondering when Mafex is gonna go make and release their Keaton Batman from from the Flash. Did they ever announce one, or are they just rumored to be making one? I got the fig from eBay, all the rubber pieces and the figure from like $40-50. I also got the superposable Spidey on eBay for like $60. Nice. Wait, so was it sealed in box or open but like new? That's the thing. Those figures are so Pugman. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Ever so often on Mercari, not so much eBay, but Mercari, I get recommended a listing of a superposable Spider-Man figure from either the first movie or the second movie from 2002 or 2004. And it's not badly priced. It's like 110, but the figure is brand new in box, still sealed, superposable, obviously mint condition. I can see from the photos that the card is still in good condition. It's not yellowed, like the plastic is not yellowed out. Still sealed, mint condition, 100 to 110. And for a 22-year-old figure, I'm like, $100, $110, that kind of makes sense. But I don't want to buy it. You know why? Because I am so OCD that if I buy that, it's staying in the box. I'm not opening it. And then at that point, why buy it? We circle back around to then, okay, then don't buy it. I can't do it. I rather someone who is going to be displaying it in like a huge shrine wall of mint in box, sealed mint in box figures are going to be propelled in like their man cave or in their collection den. I'd rather it go to that than to me and it's just going to go in storage. Like, no. Neither were in box, not an inbox collector. The homemade suit one came in all parts out of box. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, for $40-50, it's not bad. Now, that was one post I saved. I do have a second post. Although it's kind of the same. It's pretty much the same photos, just a little punched in. Yeah, okay. I thought I had something else up my sleeve here, but no, it's really just the same photos. It's from mcfan.ui over on Instagram. Posted these photos, and I thought they were brand new, but honestly, they're the same photos, just punched in a little bit. Yeah, see? And it's even missing a few of the figures that I covered, like the Supergirl, the other Keaton Batman, that wide angle that actually gave us a deeper look at some of those missing figures, like the Catwoman, etc. So yeah, I mean, it's cool to see these prototypes. You'll notice that some of them are in fact missing articulation. Like, actually, I'm kind of glad that I stopped on this Nightmare shot, because it looks like they're doing the same thing here, where the mid torso is in fact cut out and the wrists, but I don't see. It kind of looks like there's a joint on this arm, but not on this arm. Just for, like I said, demonstrative purposes, to be like, okay, this is what we're planning on making. Can we get backing at this China toy show from investors? And if so, cool, we're putting them into production. I guess here we can kind of see he's got the square utility belt, so that means BVS, I believe. Because I think in Man of Steel, he was still using the circular one, the little circular buckle right here in the bottom. So I believe this is for sure either BVS or Justice League. Which, I gotta be honest, every so often I kind of want a Man of Steel figure. I feel like we need to pull more figures from Man of Steel. General Zod. A General Zod, proper General Zod, Michael Shannon with the suit. Well, a platinum and a regular one. One where he's got the big beefy suit, and then one where he's got just a regular black suit. And a Feora. And that big tanky guy that decapitates that pilot that a lot of us missed, and now we play it back and we're like, holy shit, that made it into a PG-13 movie? Yeah. Yeah. Now that he did a BVS wave, we can't rule out the possibility that he might do a Man of Steel wave. A proper Man of Steel. I would probably say... I got it. Build a figure, Man of Steel wave. Superman, obviously. General Zod, Feora, Jor-El. Russell Crowe's Jor-El from the beginning. And then each figure will come a piece to build the big guy. I can't remember his name, but the big guy with the mask that, like I said, decapitates that pilot and gives Superman a little bit of a beating into an IHOP. There you go. That's my pitch. If I just came up with it right now, very good chance that McFarlane is probably working on getting those things ironed out in the blueprinting phase. Yeah, let me know how that goes, Pugman. On the next stream, let me know what your thoughts are on that figure. Eager to see what you say about that. Okay, so we're going to wind it down. I'm going to start winding it down here. Plus, I think I have another movement coming. But I think I can hold on to this one. I'm sorry. But I think this was announced a little further back, but then pre-orders went live. Let me see if I actually have a... I think maybe our good folks over at Paternia helped us out with this one, actually. If I can find it. Actually, two. While we're on the subject here, I actually got two here. They're actually both from Ace Age Figure Arts. Ace Age Figure Arts made some moves in regards to... What is this? Oh, that's different. In regards to some Spidey-centric figures from live-action movies. I can't say MCU because one of them is from the MCU. The other one is technically not. But I did believe it looked kind of cool. And because of that, I kind of wanted to put down a pre-order without paying out front. I wanted to put down a pre-order, but rather have it be one of those like non-upfront ones if I could find it. Where the hell is it? Now I can't find it. Let me try something else. Did I miss it? It was like an individual post. Now I can't find it though. Or was it Toy Bro who tweeted it? Oh no, here we go, here we go, here we go. So Age Figure Arts announced and put up for pre-order a Last Dance Venom. And up until this point, I never owned a Figure Arts Venom. I had I don't think I even have a movie version of Venom in Marvel Legends form. But I have seen some good things about the Figure Arts. I do like. I think I've seen this in person when I went to Comic-Con. I might be wrong about that. But I saw the texture work and I was like, that looks kind of cool. And then in box, I've seen the Let There Be Carnage Venom at like Frankenson's collectible trading shows, booths, stuff like that. And even though it's inside the box, you can still see through the window. And I'm like, it doesn't look too bad. But with there being a third movie coming up, my money is on that they're going to release another figure. And sure enough, Figure Arts announced and released pre-orders on November 1st for the Let There Be Carnage version of Venom. And I did put down a pre-order. It was a little bit of a tussle. I wanted to do a pre-order with HobbyLink Japan, but I missed the pre-order window by like 15 minutes. And within less than that, it was sold out. But I did put down a pre-order through Big Bad Toy Store, I think. But I'm trying out for the first time a company called Ninnin, or a site called Ninnin Game, something like that, Ninnin Game, which I've never bought from before, but I did my research, and according to a lot of people, they're legit, and they ship rather quickly, and and they're based in Japan, which means it's cheaper. Cheap, well, and when I say cheaper, I'm talking like 10, 15 bucks after shipping. After you factor in shipping and taxes, it's only really about like $10 cheaper-ish, 10, maybe 15. But the main hook is that you're going to get it sooner instead of waiting for some kind of plane or cargo ship to bring all those units in for Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store or even Amazon to then deliver. So I did pre-order through Ninja Game because, like I said, up until this point, I've been skipping on an awful lot of the Figure Arts Venoms. And say what you want about those movies, but at least in figure form, a lot of companies, like even Marvel Legends, can nail some of the aesthetical things they nail with the design of these Venoms, of these symbiotes. Recently, I covered the Marvel Legends Let There Be Carnage, and I fucking love that thing. For 40 bucks, it's definitely worth it. So to the point where it almost makes me wonder, if Marvel Legends can do this for 40 bucks, I am now kind of gatewaying myself into looking into maybe picking up the Figure Arts Let There Be Carnage and seeing how that compares. It could happen. And now we got a Last Dance Venom, and I'm kind of curious to see how this Venom turns out. Because, frankly, it piqued my interest, and I put down that pre-order. So, yeah. But that wasn't the only Figure Arts Spidey related thing, even though they technically already unveiled this before, but they managed to come up with a reissue. Here we go. Yeah, this was literally just yesterday. Also, shout out to Paternia for helping me secure pre-order over at Amazon for the Iron Spider from No Way Home. Wait, well, when did he wear? Oh, yeah, he did wear the suit in No Way Home. Okay, yeah. So the Iron Spider suit, but the No Way Home version, I guess. There's a reissue coming up here pretty soon of this figure. And for $85 to pre-order through Amazon, for which, like I said, they don't charge until they ship, which is not going to be until, I think, like spring of next year. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And so shout out to Paternia for helping me secure this and seeing how it pans out. Because I'm eager to see if Figure Arts has kind of polished up their formula. But at the same time, Mafex, I believe, is also coming up with their own. So I'm curious to see how they're going to pair. In fact, let me check. Mafex Iron Spider. Because I believe they're also coming up with one, right? We have the Figure Arts. That's the... Are they? They have one, but it's not released yet. I mean, no, it's... I think it's sold out. Yeah, it is sold out. They did come up with one from Endgame, but that was like years ago. Don't they have one coming up? Hobby. Ooh, my bad. Hobby Genki. Yeah, and even Hobby Genki sold out the Venom in minutes. That's crazy. I don't know. Oh, that's the Figure Arts reissue. So I could have sworn Mafex had a newer Iron Spider, not the Endgame one from a couple years back, but a newer one. Actually, I gotta read. I misspelled it. No, I guess not. So I guess this Figure Arts reissue is the only thing that we're really gonna... Yeah, because there's... Okay, maybe that's what I'm confusing it with. Maybe the black suit from the very beginning of No Way Home. Maybe that's what I'm confusing it with. Oh, okay. I'm confusing it partly with that, but also partly with the integrated suit. That's what I'm thinking of. But you would think that they would come up with an Iron Spider as well. Let me just type in Mafex No Way Home and seeing what comes up with that. That's also kind of interesting that Hobby Genki is also selling pre-orders for some Hot Toys. Like Amazing Spider-Man. That's crazy. Okay, I'm starting to say that's crazy a little too much. I'm going to start sounding like Luke Stevens. Jesus. Mafex No Way Home. Okay, just the three main. Yeah, I guess that's it. So only time will tell if Mafex is going to tackle the Iron Spider, because right now they don't. Hey David, are you a Bayverse Transformers fan? I love the first movie. If the first movie is the type of movie that if it's on TV, even if it's like halfway through, leave it on. I'm watching it. But once we get to 2, it's where it's 2 and even 3 to an extent have scenes that I like to rewatch on YouTube. But the entire movies overall, nah. But there's certain scenes like the forest fight from Revenge of the Fallen. I'll rewatch that. There's a couple of sequences here and there that I'll rewatch. Once we got to Age of Extinction, I remember Age of Extinction and Last Night are not good. And Last Night, I would even argue Last Night is the worst. To the point where I felt physically, I don't want to say physically sick. It's just worn out by the end of Last Night. That I'm like I feel like I just worked a shift at work. And I'm just like, I just want to go home. I was in theaters by myself watching that. And even I was like, I want to go home. We might get some James Gunn Superman figures next year. I believe there were some. I had it saved, but honestly, I'll just save that for a topic for another stream. But I believe I saw on one of the Facebook, I think it was on the Facebook McFarlane Toys group, that there were some supposed leaks. But at the same time, the list, it looked like one of those things that somebody just typed up on word processor. So I'm like, okay, how is this a leak? But at the same time, it's happened before, and some of them were actually, in fact, nailed, surprisingly. But at the same time, it wouldn't be like it wouldn't make total utter sense to be able to do it. I mean, it doesn't make sense for McFarlane not to do Superman figures from the new movie. You know what I mean? It's kind of a given. I guess for sure we're gonna get Superman. We're almost for sure gonna get Mr. Terrific and that Kyle Gardner, I think is his name, Green Lantern, the Nathan Fillion version, and maybe a Lois. Well, or maybe Lex Luthor. I don't know about Lois, considering how McFarlane's a little testy to still make female figures, but I still think he should. Plus, it's Rachel Brosnan. Who else is rumored? Oh, Crypto. He'll probably bundle Crypto with Superman. Or that'll be a gold label exclusive. Superman, but bundled with crypto. Yeah, I can see that. There's our third-party company that makes excellent Transformer Optimus Primes. It looks like CGI. It's called Magnificent Mecha Optimus Prime. Are you talking about the 3-0? The only downside to those, Rishav, is that they don't transform. And when I collect Transformer figures, I'm sorry, they need to transform. I understand how realistic and accurate and finely detailed and finely painted those 3-0 figures are, but the fact that they don't transform, like, my brain instantly wants to, like, start transforming them, and then I can't, and I'm like, Big Rib, welcome to the stream. What's up, David? You doing okay streaming today? Yeah, much better, except my bowels decided to interrupt a little bit, and I might have to go again here. But expected, because as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I had a slimming tea last night, and those Chinese slimming teas, they do wonders to clean you out, which I definitely needed, because I had In-N-Out burger yesterday, and then the day before that I had these really crispy cheese taquitos, but it's like a lot of cheese, so I'm like, I need a push. I need a push, and I need more vegetables. Sorry if that's TMI for some of you guys. But in terms of like stream stamina, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at this. Talking more and, you know, keeping focus more. I'm like, all right, if I can make this a weeklier thing, and my voice doesn't, you know, it's starting to go, but at the same time, it doesn't feel as like strained as it was those first couple of streams. So yeah, doing pretty good. I bet we see a Metamorpho soon. I hear Todd is a soft spot for that character. I honestly don't know who that character is. Magnificent Mecha Optimus Prime. You know what? You piqued my interest. Magnificent Mecha. Oh, auto-filled. Word? Hold up. Now, a bigger question I have for some of you guys. How do you feel after last night? Pfft. You guys leaving the country? That's stupid. People keep saying, I'm moving to Canada. I'm moving. Shut the fuck. You're not going anywhere. If you would have done it back in 2016 if you were honest. Ooh, let me check out this review from Joby the Hong. I like this guy. A little crazy with the edits, but I do like him. He does crack me up from time to time. He keeps things fresh. Wow, it really does transform? Hold up. Hold up. The gray prototype? Well, I found a different one. This is the MMO1. This one. I'll mute him for now just in case. Yeah, see, like, he's really good with the edits. I mean, that really does look good. Wait, it comes with a... It's a fucking bulk? It's not even a fold out, it's a bulk to transform it? It's Japanese though. I don't want to spoil too much of the transformation process because that's one of my favorite things about Transformers is transforming them. Because you get three figures. To me, in my eyes, you get three figures. You get the vehicle, you get the robot, and then you get a puzzle. You almost get like a Rubik's Cube. I might have to get... Alright, I've seen enough. I've seen enough. There's still a little bit of robot piecery right here. Right there. But... what have you done? What have you done? Rishev, what have you done? Good look. Oh, man. I mean, well, I know that that's not the Bay movie, but I still like the way that Prime looked like in the Bumblebee movie, and that looks legit still. I still like how that looks. But here, let me type in O2. Oh, okay. Oh. So it's only in prototype phase right now? Yeah, this is only a month ago, so they're definitely still working on it. Yeah, because that Bumblebee design of Optimus Prime was not bad. I really did like it. But now knowing that there's going to be Revenge of the Fallen... is that Revenge of the Fallen? It looks more like Dark of the Moon. It just says Bayverse. But if this is... show it really quick. This right here? And if they truly are able to get that Peterbilt, I mean, here's the thing. It's been able to be done before. They were able to do it before. You know why? Probably releasing two. Wait, was that the window between when they revealed the 01 versus it releasing? Ugh. Because if that's the case, I don't know. But here's the thing. It can be done. Because to a slightly smaller scope, Hasbro has done it before. Oh no, it's not up there. Damn it, it's in the other room. I'm going to have to go grab it. But I do have the Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Optimus Prime. I do have it. And to this day, that's one of my favorite Transformer figures of all time. I'm sorry. I know it's a movie license. It's a very, cliche answer, but they really did go all out with that figure. The transformation process, the detail, could use a little bit of paint. Quite a bit of paint, actually. But the way it's able to evoke the look of Optimus from Revenge of the Fallen and still look like a Peterbilt when you transform it, I'm like... God, I love, and for $50 back then, it only cost $50. I was like, back in 2009, because now $50 gets you small little Voyager. I'm like, that's another thing that really killed it for me with Transformers, with Hasbro specifically. I'm like, $20 for a deluxe, and then like 30, 35 for a Voyager, and then 50 or 55 for a leader. But now the leaders are like this instead of this. I couldn't do it anymore. David, have you taken a look at the Yellow Park Transformers G1 model kits? I have Optimus and Megatron. They're awesome for what they are. Yeah, but they're model kits, so that means they can't transform either, right? What are they called? Yellow Park? Yeah, like you said, they're not bad for what they are. $16.99. Not bad. So that is going to be Revenge of the Fallen. Nice. Okay, guys, if you couldn't already tell, my voice is starting to go out. And plus, we successfully did get through all the topics that I wanted to on my Google Keep. We're clean. Cool. So we'll see what I can bring up between now and next Wednesday as far as topics, as far as reveals that are pertaining to Batman and Spider-Man and the collecting community, as far as Marvel Legends, Figure Arts, Mafex, McFarlane Toys, even Fondjoy. If there's some kind of release, if there's some kind of development as far as me being able to acquire the new Justice League Batman, I'll keep you guys posted. We'll talk about it and we'll shoot the shit just like we did today. And so far, this made for a pretty solid 2+ hour show. Want to thank you guys for tuning in here. Pugman, Rishav, Big Rib, Tom Bowling, Brian's new dishwasher, Pepe Zamora, Nate Likes Comics, Wrench. Who else was here? I know we had some others. Who else was here? Oh yeah, that was the predominant amount of the chat, but the God of the Comic, RC Cola, for holding down the fort while I was taking the it's Nathan and the Real Barack 2010. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys had a great time. Even though, like I said, it's the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday, but still testing out the days to see which days are better or worse versus each other as far as streaming, as far as which ones perform better. Like I said, I'm going back and forth between Tuesday and Wednesday. And ideally, it would be Tuesday, but this week I had to bump it to Wednesday due to errands that I had to run yesterday. And next week, it's looking like it's going to be Wednesday again because Tuesday, I don't have errands, but my parents are going to be gone for like a good solid 2 hours. And now knowing that the BVS wave is on its way and the Mafex Justice League Batman 2.0 and the Amazing Yamaguchi Batman are ready for pickup and those reviews are coming up, I feel like I should probably just take advantage of that time of me being alone in the house and film those reviews. So we got a lot to batch record. Got to start resting up the voice to do that. And so that's why I feel more comfortable of doing next week's stream, probably also on Wednesday around the same time. So look for that. Of course, I'll keep you guys posted if things change. Otherwise, that about does it for me. Thank you guys all. Have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon / evening. And as always, stay humble. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.